It's the Chookman here once again. Today we're going to do a blog on looking for rust before we actually buy the F100. I'm going to tell you a couple of spots where you must look for rust before you buy these F100s. Alright, so one place they rust really bad, as I said in the other blogs of these channels. So these channels sit behind the guard, and you must think to yourself, well, how can you check these without taking the guard off? You can't really, so what you've got to do is you've got to get a camera or a torch in between the door and the guard. You can buy these long torches, and you can bend them. What you do is you stick a torch down in between the door and the chassis of the truck and poke it in here, and you'll see the rust on that angle. That's with the door on. Now with the guard, you can stick your head under, turn the wheels both ways, turn them this way, turn them that way, and look up here for rust as well. And look around the chassis. Now surface rust is fine because you can get the grinder out and you can grind all the surface rust off, and then you can respray it. That's fine, but also look for big holes. These are bolt holes. Look for big holes like this that are structural, because if it's got structural holes in it, that means the chassis has to be re-welded, and that costs heaps of money. So you don't want to go there unless you've got heaps of money. And another place they also rust, have a look under the cabin along here, but up under here. Have a look under here. This is underneath the cabin and along the chassis. They normally rust out underneath the cabin as well. So check underneath the cabin for rust. Another place they also rust is in the corner bits on the chassis here. This is not too bad. It's got a little bit of holes in it, but don't forget these are 45-year-old trucks. So in the corner of these F100s, put your hand around the back carefully with a torch and have a look up under here and along that chassis for the cabin. So you crawl underneath it and you make sure you have a look in another spot. They all rust out along the back of the cabin. I don't know if you guys can see that properly, but this is the back of the cabin. They all get underneath and have a look, because they all rust out under there. And another spot they also rust is up under the dash where all the wires are. Under here. Have a look, get a torch and have a look up under where all the fuses are for rust. Pull the carpet back and have a real good look, and look properly, because you don't want to be doing a roadworthy and then the bloke says, oh, we can't roadworthy, we just found surface rust. So don't forget, the back of the cabin, they all rust. At the back of the cabin, along the back. This has got a little bit of surface rust along the back of the cabin, but nothing I'm going to worry about. Alright, so that's the cabin taken care of. And along the roof, they all rust out along here. You'll see, and around the windscreen rubber, pull the rubber back if you can. They all rust out. This has got a little bit of rust on there. So what I'm going to do is grind it all back and get some body filler and fill up the little holes. Otherwise, and they all rust out under these things too, in the door channels. Have a look in there, see that? That's starting to rust now. So you've got to check these F100s out properly before you buy them. Alright guys, that's looking for rust on these old F100s. Also, look in the cabin too, you know, pull the visor back, have a look under there, have a look everywhere. Get there's a good way of finding out if there's rust behind here. Get your fist and bang it like that, hard. And if there's any rust under here, it'll all fall down on the floor. These are the things you got to do, because otherwise you're going to be like me and you're going to get these things home and you're going to go, wow, what have I done? But I love these, and they all rust out along these bonnets. That's about it for rust. Look, if you look in the proper spots, you'll make your mind up sooner or later, like me, whether you can toss a coin and say, yeah, I can fix it or I can't fix it. Look, if you've got plenty of money, it's okay, and you want to do one of these things up, you don't worry about rust. You cut it out as you go along. But anyway, alright guys, that's a quick blog on looking for rust in these old F100s. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you all later.